News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Friday on Wall Street, where its historic weekly run came to a halt with stocks hit by a tech sell-off after a solid jobs report added to bets that the Fed will raise rates this year. Much more about all of that just ahead. But first, let's look at those closing numbers with you. The S&P 500 down 2.6%. That's more than 200 points. NASDAQ lost 1,121 points. That's more than 4%. And the Dow is down 694 points, or 1.3%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.54%. The 2-year yield at 4.15%. And Bitcoin lower as well, down 5%, now around $60,000. Oil prices also lower. WTI down about 3%, around $90 a barrel. Brent crude down more than 2%, around $93 a barrel. Meta platform shares fell more than 5% in regular trading after the Financial Times reported the Facebook parent is considering raising tens of billions of dollars in a stock offering as it looks to boost its AI-related capital expenditures. That report cited 3 people familiar with the plans. Bloomberg television markets correspondent Nora Melinda says expectations are high in the market, especially in the tech sector.
You're really seeing a crackdown right now on the tech sector. If you dig into the S&P 500, information technology, that sector alone, the worst performing group in the S&P 500. So what I'm hearing from my sources is, yes, we are seeing an acceleration of this sell-off, but it's really focused on the tech space. It's a rotation that we're seeing.
Bloomberg's Nora Melinda on Balance of Power. Now, sources tell Bloomberg the SpaceX IPO has drawn more orders than there are shares available. Underwriters on SpaceX's initial public offering have been told not to accept orders from investors in Hong Kong and China because of U.S. restrictions around the export of critical technology. That deal expected to price June 11th and begin trading the following day, with SpaceX set to deliver the biggest ever IPO. SpaceX and Google, meanwhile, entered a cloud service agreement through which Google has agreed to pay SpaceX $920 million each month from October 2026 to June 2029. Google shares fell about 1% in regular trading. President Trump showing interest in the government holding equity stakes in leading AI developers, saying he'll discuss the idea with AI company executives.
We're leading China. We're leading everybody in the world with AI. And we want to keep it that way. It's probably the biggest industry maybe that we've ever seen.
Which companies in the meeting?
All of them.
All
the big ones, yeah.
SpaceX?
They're all coming to the White House probably next week.
President Trump speaking to reporters on Air Force One. The idea of government stakes in AI companies has been floated by OpenAI Chief Executive Officer Sam Altman and Senator Bernie Sanders, who proposed that top AI companies hand 50% of their stock to the government to be kept in a sovereign wealth fund. That big upside surprise for the labor market also did a number on Wall Street. The May non-farms payrolls report shows 172,000 new jobs added in the month, nearly twice what economists expected. The unemployment rate held steady at 4.3%. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett argues the big supply-side boom can avert runaway inflation.
We've got high wage growth, and native-born Americans are rushing into the labor market in droves. We really love going through the Bloomberg data, and we have this thing that I like to look at, which is the probability distribution of all the forecasts for the jobs number before it comes out. I saw that the very, very top person was low by about 40,000 jobs, which shows that the Trump economy is surprising Wall Street analysts.
Hear more from National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett on the Bloomberg Talks podcast. Traders fully priced in a rate hike sometime this year. Goldman Sachs partner John Flood says it makes sense.
People now think that we will get a rate hike and by year end. So I think it's healthy. I do think it's a buying opportunity. And I think that there is still a significant amount of worry, cash on the sidelines, short exposure out there for the market to climb higher.
Hear more from Goldman Sachs partner John Flood on our Bloomberg Talks podcast. In Washington, President Trump told reporters on Air Force One he wants Acting Director of National Intelligence Bill Pulte to further slash staffing at the agency. Bloomberg White House correspondent Kate Sullivan.
He said that Pulte would be less shackled because it's just an acting role. He said that Pulte could make a lot of changes, shakeups in the intelligence community before whoever his ultimate pick comes in.
Bloomberg White House correspondent Kate Sullivan on Balance of Power. And after more than 100 years, the Chicago Bears may be leaving Illinois heading for Indiana. The team says it intends to build a new domed stadium in Hammond, Indiana, with the exact site yet to be selected. ESPN says it's not a done deal and that Illinois can still get back in the race. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.